Good evening. I'm Toby Olson. It's my job to watch the gears of the world turn. The gears of power, of politics, and, most importantly, of the economy. Because after all the speeches are given and the rallies have dispersed, the story is always written on the ledger. Tonight, that ledger is telling a fascinating and deeply concerning story of a profound disconnect between Wall Street's euphoria and Main Street's anxiety. Let's get right to it. Our first top financial story is the paradox of the U.S. government shutdown. We are now in the second week of a partial shutdown, an act of self-inflicted political paralysis. And yet the stock market, the S&P 500 and the Dow, are hitting new record-breaking highs. Now, how can this be? It's a question any rational person would ask. The answer is that Wall Street is currently high on two very potent drugs: artificial intelligence and the promise of cheap money. The market is being propelled forward by a small handful of tech behemoths, companies like NVIDIA and AMD, who are riding a tidal wave of investment in the AI sector. At the same time, traders are betting with near total certainty that the Federal Reserve, seeing a softening job market, will continue cutting interest rates. This makes borrowing cheaper and juices stock valuations. The market is ignoring the present political chaos because it's entirely focused on a speculative, high-tech, low-interest rate future. But here is the brutal reality for the American consumer. This rally is not your rally. For the roughly 750,000 federal employees furloughed or working without pay, this is an immediate financial crisis. It means less money for groceries, for car payments, for rent. That is a direct, tangible drag on the real economy. Furthermore, the shutdown means the government is not releasing critical economic data. We still don't have last week's jobs report. The Federal Reserve is flying blind, and so are you. This lack of data creates uncertainty that can ripple into the mortgage and credit markets you rely on. Our second top financial story is the impending Q3 corporate earnings season, which kicks off this week. This is Wall Street's report card. We are about to see if the sky-high valuations of these market-leading companies are built on a solid foundation of actual profit or on the sand of speculative hope. The big banks, JP Morgan Chase for example, will report first. Their numbers will give us the first real unvarnished look at the health of the American consumer. Are people still taking out loans? Are they paying their credit card bills on time? Or are delinquencies rising? This is where the consumer story will be told. A strong earnings season, particularly from the banks, could signal underlying economic resilience. A weak season, however, could be the pin that pricks this stock market bubble, with direct consequences for your 401k and retirement savings. As this is happening, we're seeing global investors get nervous. Gold, the ultimate safe haven asset, has soared past a historic $4,000 an ounce, a clear sign of risk aversion in the face of the shutdown and ongoing geopolitical tensions. And those tensions are palpable. The world is also watching the Middle East as commemorations mark the second anniversary of the tragic October 7th attack, a somber backdrop to the ongoing, delicate negotiations for a potential ceasefire in Gaza. We are in a moment of profound disconnect, a political system in gridlock, a stock market celebrating a speculative future, and a consumer facing the very real pressures of inflation and a slowing job market. It is a story we will continue to watch with an unflinching eye.
Thank you, Toby. It is always a pleasure to hear your sharp analysis. Now let's bring our focus home to Los Angeles County, where the news agenda is dominated by a mix of crime, civic unrest, and the very human stories beneath the headlines. Los Angeles City Hall was evacuated recently after a car crashed into the steps of the building. The driver was eventually taken into police custody following a standoff. The incident prompted a large response, including the LAPD bomb squad, though the situation was ultimately resolved with no immediate reports of injuries. For a few tense hours, the heart of our city's governance was shut down, a jarring reminder of unpredictable acts in public spaces. A hazmat situation unfolded at a bank in Hollywood after mysterious chemicals, specifically bottles of resin, were found taped to the front doors. Police and hazmat crews secured the scene, and fortunately, no explosives were found. An investigation is ongoing into who placed the packages and why, but the event underscores a persistent local concern about public safety and security in high-profile areas. A high-profile case is reaching its conclusion, as a former Los Angeles deputy mayor is expected to be sentenced today in connection with a City Hall bomb threat case. The former official faces up to a decade in federal prison after admitting to fabricating a bomb threat. This story has rocked local politics and serves as a significant marker in ongoing efforts to address corruption and abuse of power within city government. Local drivers are preparing for another financial hit at the pump. Following a massive fire at the Chevron refinery in El Segundo, Southern California is bracing for even higher gas prices. Refinery issues often translate immediately into higher costs for consumers in this region, which relies heavily on locally refined fuel. This development ties directly into Toby's national financial report, showing how global energy and local production issues both contribute to the consumer squeeze. Authorities have announced the arrest of 17 individuals connected to a major Southern California train burglary ring, with stolen property totaling nearly $400,000. The arrests followed a series of search warrants. This investigation is a major win for law enforcement tackling organized theft, an issue that has plagued rail lines and supply chains in our area, ultimately driving up shipping costs and retail prices for businesses and consumers alike. That's the local news roundup from Los Angeles. Stay blessed, and may God bless all of his people wherever they at.
If this content is reaching you and helping you, please like and subscribe. It will help our algorithm for others to find us.